Hello everyone. This is a continuation from the Blender tutorial that um, I have made to make Chiva's avatar. So right now I'm gonna go through how you can set up your avatar and get it ready for Vrchat upload. Um, First, the tools that you need is 2017.4.15 F1 Unity as of now, 2019 February 26. Yeah, and then you also have to have your VRC SDK, which I will link on how you can download it. And then I will teach you how to put dynamic bones, which make your skirt move, your hair move, whatever, in your um in your Vrchat game. And then I'll teach you how to apply um something like this, the hair, onto the avatar. And then I will teach you how to rig and get it ready for Vrchat, and like how to edit the materials of your avatar. So right now I open up the place where I have saved the FBX file for Chiva. So I have the original Miku right here, and then I click on the file, and then I will drag all these textures onto this Unity file which I have created called Chiva. I have made some other avatars for her previously, and then I'm just putting it all together in one folder. So I have dragged the textures in, and then I will create a folder by right clicking, and then you can click create, and then there will be a folder that you can choose, and there will be a new folder that pops up. Textures for butterfly dress. And then I'll put all my textures. I'm holding control so that it will skip some of the stuff that I don't want to select, and then I'll drag them into textures for butterfly dress. And then when you click on it, textures are inside. That's good. And then I will go back to here, the FBX, and then I will drag the FBX into the file wherever you want to save it. Now that it is in here, you can just start dragging your avatar into your scene right here. If you don't have any of these tabs, project, animation, hierarchy, you can just click on whatever tabs that you have available, and then you can right click on it, and then it will come out add tab, and then there will be scene, game, inspector, etc., that you can choose, that you can open whatever tabs that you want. So right here I'll click on the avatar name, butterfly dress, and then you can rename it if you want, but I'll just leave it like that. And then there's transform, and then I'll just right click and then reset it so that it is 0000, or you can just type 00. You can start by clicking on the name again. There is model select, and then you click select, and then there'll be rig that you want to click on, generic. If it's generic, it will move in Vrchat. If it's humanoid, it will move like a human. So I will click humanoid, and then I'll click apply. And then after I click apply, you can configure it. Then as if you want to save changes, you just save. So right here you have your rigged avatar. You can see all these bones that is from Blender, and then Unity will automatically help you rig your avatar into a human. And then now you just have to check if the bones are in the right places. Is the right ankle, left ankle, knee, hips, spine, chest, neck, head, left, right. Checked everything thoroughly, but you have to delete the toes. You have to leave the toes open so that your avatar will move correctly in Vrchat. And when you click, this is the body, this is the head, you have to delete your jaw because we have already made visemes in the previous tutorial, and we don't need them. And then you choose left eye, right eye. Left eye and right eye is the eyes that is generated in Blender. Or there is eye underscore left, eye underscore right, which is not in Blender. It's like the original eyes. Then you probably won't be able to use it. Like, look at this, eye underscore left. Like, they will turn in a very awkward way, and you don't want that. So you just click apply, and then click done. Alright, this is done. And then now, I will teach you how to put the materials on this avatar. Because this avatar, actually right now, it only has textures on it. And I want the textures to be on materials because it's different. Look at this previous one that I made, different materials, but on it has textures that is like when you drag in, like this is texture for a butterfly dress. That means this material right here has this texture on it. Textures and materials are not the same thing. So if you want your materials to be on this avatar, you can click select again and then materials. Then you can, I usually press use external materials legacy and then click apply. And so after I have applied, it will generate a materials folder right here. So these are all the materials that is on Chiva right now. And if you're not happy with the materials, you can edit it in any way, however you want. So for me, it's really easy. I just download a shader. I usually use Cube Shader. Like, how to install the shader is that you just drag it into your assets folder, that's all, and then it will just install it by itself. And then you click on your materials, and then I hold shift so that you select everything. Then right here under shader, you can change the shader, and then I use Cube's Paradox, Flatlit Tomb, change it to opaque so that everything will be opaque, change it to white so that I can change the colors later, decrease all the shadows so that there won't be shadows on it, tint it. You see, like, if it's not tinted, the back faces will not show. So let's say, look at this part of the dress. If it's not tinted, it will not show. I press Ctrl Z and it went back. But if it's tinted, it will show. And this is the color of the tint. So let's say I want it red, and then it will look red. like, but it just becomes darker because it's already dark. And then I put it at white color so that there's nothing, there's no shadow. And then right now there's, because it's a tint, there's a little bit of an outline going on, so I'll reduce the outline to really small like this, so it doesn't have an outline. You can just go to body, and then there will be like all these elements, that is your material, and then following the elements, element 0, it will be listed in a long list the materials that you have on your avatar. Then from here you can edit your materials, or you can just come here and then click on the individual materials and then edit, change. So this is the ears. If you want, you can double click. I got my double click. Okay, double click it, and then you can change the name of the materials, but it doesn't matter. It's just for your own reference. You can name it Tom, Dick, and Jerry, and it'll still be the same. So let's say if you want this material to be on this place, you can also change. It doesn't matter. You can just change it. You can just put it there. It doesn't matter. You can just drag it from here, and then you can just put it there. Or you can also click on the body, and then you can change the elements by dragging it onto the elements too. It doesn't matter. So you notice that this is red is because I change the PNG. So this Shang right here became a normal map. It was default. Let me apply it. Default is like that. And then this normal map, which you can generate so that it is like this. Normal map, usually just change it into grayscale like this. You can press create from grayscale. You can also apply it. You see how the normal map just take out the texture. It's like the dimensions of the texture, and then it will accentuate that so that it looks a little bit more 3D. You can do that, or if you don't, it just be like that. It's just flat. So if you want some dimension, you can use normal maps. So right here in the materials, let's say I want this material to have a normal map. There's normal map right here which you can choose. You can click on this. Shang is the material, and then you can duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. Shang 3, which is different. Then you can change it. You can change like how much you want it to be bumpy, how sharp you want it smooth. Doesn't matter. I'm just doing an example. So here, right here, you can see that it has generated this map. That you can choose. You can choose it here. Normal map, Shang, and it just makes like no difference. If you want to see the difference more, you should probably change the shader. Standard. But this shader, right here standard, it tends to make your avatar looks plaster, maybe that's how. You can change like how much you want to accentuate it, how less you want to accentuate it. Just see how it goes. Or there's like height maps and other things which I usually don't use. And I usually don't use the normal maps too. It's okay, just like that. And then if you don't like this shader, this cube shader, you can also change it. Like let's say, what is this, 01? What is this thing? It's just this part on the chest. And then if you don't like the shader, you can turn it into cutout, or cutout usually works for images with like textures that is transparent on the back. So let's say lace. I have some lace texture which is transparent. The darker parts are transparent. So let's say I just make it this so you can see it more properly. This is the lace texture. If it's other textures, then there won't be any cutout because it is not transparent. But this lace has the places which is like cutout. Then you can change the tiling, how much you want to move. Then you can change how much you want to cut off, like how much hole, how big the hole you want. And you can change shadow, which doesn't change much here because it's already dark. Let's say it's like that. Oh yeah, here you can see the shadows. So the shadows it casts, sometimes the lighting in the worlds in Vrchat, it would change too. So Chiva wants her avatar to be red themed, so I will be right back after I customize her avatar. Alright, I have already finished customizing all the textures for Chiva's model right here. It's just I change the texturing, and then you can see that I added a color mask. A color mask is like the more opaque the color is, the more it will show. Above your normal texture, it will only show like the shapes inside and not the color of it. So now it looks like this. This is the model. So I will add the hair right now. All you have to do for the hair to stay on the head, you go to the head right here. This is the head. You drag the hair FBX. This is the original hair that I have for Chiva, but you don't even need this, just delete it. You can just drag it onto the under head and then it will stay there. So now that it's under head, I will adjust how big I want it to be. So you can use this icon, or you can press R on your keyboard to shrink it, make it smaller. And then you can change it back. This is W key, this is E, this is R. right on your keyboard. I think like this is good. And then you can drag the material. Previously I made one for the hair already, so here's the material. Yeah, so this will stay on the head if I move it. For example, like right now I press play and then I press E and then I can rotate. You see it's following the head, but if it's not, if the hair is not on the head, it will not follow. It will not follow. So if I press play and I edit anything and I stop pressing play, then it will just bounce back to unedited. So that's one good thing. If you want to test out your thing, you can just press play and then you can test it. Alright, so now I'm gonna teach you how to add dynamic bones. First, you don't want to ruin this one because this can be the pose. The pose one, the original one, you untick and it will disappear. You tick it and it will appear again. I untick it, I duplicate it, Control D, and then now it's a new one. It's a new one. Dynamic bone. So this one is the one that I will put my dynamic bones in. So right now, the previous thing, the script you have downloaded, dynamic bone, is applied into Unity already. You don't have to do anything, you just have to install it. And then once it's installed, it's gonna be here. So let's say I want this skirt to move. So I go to hips. And then right here at the hips, I will add dynamic bone. And then I will drag the root, the hips to the root. So you can see all these white lines, it is indicating the bones. But you want to exclude your left leg, your leg increase, your spine, your right leg. So after they are all excluded, you can go to play mode. Go back to scene, and then you can adjust the damping, elastic, stiffness, inert. So right here, if you click on the armature, you can see that it moves. If this hips doesn't have the bone, then it won't move. But you can undo that. Okay, now it's gonna move. But I want it to be more flowy, so I adjust inert, stiffness, less elastic, more damping. So right now it'll move like this. So now that you have the values that you're happy with, then you can click copy component and then you can exit the play mode. Remember, if you exit the play mode, this plays, it doesn't happen. This does not remember what you just did. So you have to paste component values that you have just copied so that it is applied to your thing. If not, you can just adjust here first or whatever. Then if you want to be able to touch something, so let's say you want to touch your dress, you want to use your hands to touch your dress, so you go to your middle finger. They usually put it on the middle finger. Create empty object. Dynamic bone collider. Actually, it doesn't matter. You can. I just name it for the sake of naming it, and then I'll make it like this big and a little wide. So this, I already have this collider, right? I make it an empty object so that I can move it up and down to adjust it. And then I will go to my hits and I will add a collider, size 1. That means 1 collider. Drag it on there. Go to play mode. And then this hand, if I move it, I go to the shoulder, press E, and I rotate. Okay, it's not reaching the dress. Okay, you can see that the back of the dress is moving a bit because it is hitting the bone. So if it's not big enough, you can change how big the collider will be so that it can influence your bones like this. This is obviously too big, so about this size. Alright, then I'll copy component, go back to stop playing mode, and then I'll paste component again. So it'll be like this. So if you want your thing to be interactable, you can do that. Or you can do another thing, which I'm gonna do to the hair right now. So I will do the cloth script on the hair. Let's see. Go to the neck, head, the hair, and then you click on the hair's body. And then you click cloth. It is already in your VRC SDK probably. So you just made it cloth. You change the stiffness. External acceleration. All these values. This is what I go with usually. And then you can see when you go near it, it becomes invisible. But when you go far away from it, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna work in Vrchat. When you come near it, it's still gonna be there, but it's just a glitch in Unity. So now you wanna edit, but you see this is all the vertices. Like, why is it like this? So you stop and then you make your avatar bigger, like 5 times bigger. So now it's big. It's gonna be easier to edit it. See now? You have to. This button lets you edit the vertices that you don't want to move. Because right now, if you let it move like that, I press play. It's gonna just drop down because it's gonna drape. So if you don't want it to drop, you want it to stop somewhere, you gotta make it such that it can't move. So max distance, you have to set it to 0. And then you just highlight whatever part that you don't want to move. Like this. I don't want the fringe to move in a weird way. Okay. So right now when I press play, your hair is just straight like this. And it's pretty nice. It looks quite natural. You can rotate your head and then it will move to the sides. Oh my god. Oh my god, why did I do that? Anyways, now that you know that it works, that is good. So I will continue and make the whole body and fill it with dynamic bones. Alright, I'm back and I have made all the dynamic bones in this model. So what I have done is I put dynamicbonescript right here. This one is for the hips, for the skirt right here. And then there's this other one which I excluded more things except for the leg increase. I think it's the butt that's gonna move. And I made that move. And then my spine, I didn't put anything. Like all this, I didn't put anything except for this one, knee. And then I will exclude the left ankle so that these two move instead. So whatever that you exclude, you don't want it to move. Like it's the descendant of the parent. So you exclude the ones that you don't want to move. I put some bones in the, I put the dynamic bone in the chest, in the left arm. Yeah, the left arm. And I exclude the elbow and the new capsule collider that I placed. So this capsule collider right here, this is how you set it up. You go add component, you type capsule collider, and then you create this, and then you click is trigger. If you don't click that one, your avatar is gonna freak out in Vrchat. And then you click, and then you can adjust the radius, adjust how long you want it. So this capsule collider actually influences this hair right here. So if I press play, and then I rotate my whole body, you can see that it refuses to go through the capsule colliders, and it will drape on top of the capsule collider that I have made. So I put one in the chest, I put one in the put two in the shoulders, put two in the arms, and put two in the palms. So let me see. If I move this elbow, alright, that is not okay. I will, like, even if it moves like that, it works well in Vrchat. I can touch the hair with the collider. Yes, I can touch it like that. Like the hair is moving. So I put this capsule collider in here with the dynamic bone collider. Dynamic bone collider is for the script, and the capsule collider is only for cloth script that you have. So you have this collider, then you go to the body of the place where you have the cloth script, and then this capsule collider. So I put all the colliders here so that it knows when to react to whatever. Yeah, so this is it. This is how you make your avatar. Oh, and to upload it to Vrchat, you have to turn this on. VRC component, VRC avatar descriptor right here. And then your avatar is a male or female. It will decide where the way you sit. So if it's male, you will sit open legs. If it's female, you cross your legs. So it's female, then I'll put it. And then custom setting items, all this I will do in the next video. Lip sync, you would choose Visemes because you made it in Blender. Then body, the face mesh, you must choose the body of this avatar. So you put the body here. And then right here, if you have done the Visemes in Blender, this will show up, and then you can choose according. So Visemes, there is Visemes right here, then you choose. You just choose for each one, and then after that, after you finish this, you can go to Vrchat, or you can click on Vrchat SDK Show Build Control Panel, and then this panel will pop up, and then you can press Build and Publish. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. This thing, that is the viewpoint of your avatar, so you want to change that. You can go right here and then you can change it like this. It's here now, so this is about 4.5, about 4.5, and then this is a depth 0.7. You can see that it is in between the eyes, which is usually a good spot to put. Yeah, 4.6. Yes, and then this will be the viewpoint, and then after that you can click on your Vrchat SDK release panel, and then you can just upload it. If not, you want to make your face emotes, you can watch my next video.